What's up, guys? It's me, Austin. Today I am at Carowinds, which lies on the border between Charlotte, North Carolina and Fort Mill, South Carolina. As you can see, here's Fury and Intimidator behind me. So yeah, I'm hoping to have a fun day at the park. So this should be fun. Alright, so I'm now in the park. So usually I would do the standout attraction in a park first, which is Fury 325 in this park. But since I'm almost at 100 credits, I want to save it for my 100th credit. So because of that, I'm going to ride Intimidator first, I believe. Okay, so I just rode Intimidator right here, and even though the trims are harsh, I got a back row ride on it, so it just pulled you down the drop and all the airtime hills. So it gives some good floater in the back row. So yeah, I thought I really liked it. All right, so I'm gonna head to Vortex next, since that's close to Intimidator, and Nighthawk's a long wait. So it will be my first stand-up coaster. I haven't heard good things about it, but I'll just have to see how it is.
On that side clear, we're all clear. We're just going to enjoy your ride. Tell my guests waiting in the queue line.
Alright, so I just rode Vortex, which was my first stand-up coaster. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but it's still my least favorite B&M coaster. Like, it was a very mediocre ride. Like, it was shaky. The stand-up position was pretty uncomfortable on the ride. And the dispatches were like, they weren't good. It took a while, so I was sitting in the station and sitting in the brake run for a while. That's not very comfortable. At least I got a back row ride though. All right, I'm gonna be doing a hurler next if it's operating, since it's close. It's so yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to ride Hurler right now because they were running one train, but they had to bring a second train into the station. They got to do block tests and stuff. And seeing how boring and pointless the layout looks, and based on the things I've heard about the ride, about it being bad, I don't think it will be worth that type of wait at all, even for the credit. So I'm going to head to Copperhead Strike and see if it's open and see if the wait isn't that long. So yeah, Copperhead Strike looks fun. Okay, since Flying Cobras is closer, I'm going to see how the line looks for that ride first. And if it's good, then I'll ride that first. But if it's not, then I'll just head to Copperhead Strike and see how that one is. Alright, so I just rode Flying Cobras, which is my first traditional Vekoma boomerang coaster. And even though it was a little shaky it was pretty shaky on the Cobra roll, it would have been worse if there was over-the-shoulder restraints. So I'm glad it had vest restraints. Overall, I'd say it was a good ride. I had fun on it. So I think now I'm going to head to Copperhead Strike and see how that ride's looking. So yeah, here's Copperhead Strike over here. Alright, so please pardon my hair because my hat is in the locker. But I just rode Copperhead Strike and it was a lot of fun. Even though the lap bar kind of comes down on you and staples you, there's some great airtime moments and there's some really great hang time moments. Like on the loop, the JoJo roll out of the station. I said the loop even though there's two loops, but both of them give great hang time. And then there's this one moment before the second loop, like it's after the second launch, where there's just so much hang time. It's like almost, it seems like an inverted overbank turn, some sort of stall, I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. Alright, so I just rode Afterburn, and that I thought was a lot of fun, because like the first half, it reminded me a lot of Montu at Busch Gardens, and then there was a corkscrew at the end that was really quick and whippy, almost a little too quick and whippy, but yeah, that was fun. So now it's time for my 100th credit. And here it is, what's soon to be my 100th coaster credit, Fury 325. I've heard nothing but excellent things about this coaster, so I'm really excited for it. Alright, so pardon my hair yet again because my hat's in a locker, but I just rode Fury 325 and I just got back in line for it, and I decided to ride in the front row, so I waited a little longer, and it was definitely worth it, and this ride definitely lives up to the hype, and this ride is a great 100th coaster credit for me. I'm glad I saved it for my 100th coaster credit. I was worried it was going to be overrated, but this was really good. I think this is my third favorite coaster. Definitely my favorite B&M coaster. Like the drop, like of course it's a huge drop, so it's crazy. You pick up so much speed and you maintain so much of that speed throughout the ride. There's some great airtime moments. It's just a crazy coaster. Like you'd have to ride it to believe the hype, because like it caught me by surprise how good it was. Like it definitely, I'd say it exceeded my expectations for sure. Okay, so I just rode Fury 325 a second time, and this time I rode in the back row. The first ride I got on it, I rode in the front row. This is definitely better than the front row. because I feel like in the front row it's smoother and you can feel more of that speed. So even though the drops probably feels better in the back row, like you get pulled down the drop more, the front row, like you could like seeing the drop and going down it and taking in all that speed with like all the wind in your face, it's great. All right, now I'm gonna ride Carolina Cyclone since it's one of the closest rides to Fury 325. So this should be pretty good. It might be a headbanger since it's an old aero looping coaster, but it should be at least all right. So I just rode Carolina Cyclone and it was not good at all. It really hurt my right ear. And the seats did not have good enough cushioning. Like it was just hard plastic, and the plastic was also like, it was really close to my knees. So it just wasn't a good coaster. I think Cedar Point's Corkscrew is better than this coaster. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to get Hurler out of the way yet again. I'm probably not gonna like this coaster either. It looks like it has a boring layout and it might be rough, but I don't know. I'm just doing it for the credit here. All right, so I just rode the Hurler and it's not like terribly rough. It is pretty rough, but it's not like terrible. But the ride is just boring and pointless. Like there's not really much to like write home about on this ride, because like it has like no airtime really. It's just boring in my opinion. All right, so now I'm gonna ride Woodstock Express. I rode the one at Kings Island and I thought it was a solid family Woody, so this should be about the same way.
Spaghetti. Enjoy your ride on the Woodstock Express.
For those of you waiting in line, please do not lean or hang on the safety gates.
All right, so I just rode Woodstock Express. I prefer the one at Kings Island, but I think this is actually a little bit better than Hurler, which is kind of funny. The family Woody is better than the main Woody. It's just that the main Woody here, Hurler, it's just a pointless and boring ride in my opinion. While this coaster, like at least it has a little bit of airtime, so that's good. I think this Wild Mouse coaster right here, which I believe is called Ricochet, I believe this will be my next roller coaster.